The Pandas library is the most important tool at the disposal of data scientists and analysts working in Python today, as Pandas is the backbone of most data projects. Understanding this, we have come up with this crisp video on top 5 uses of Pandas. Also, I'd like to inform you guys that we have launched a completely free platform called as Great Learning Academy, where you have access to free courses such as AI, cloud and digital marketing. You can check out the details in the description below. Now before we go ahead, please do subscribe to Great Learning's YouTube channel and click on the bell icon so that you get a notification of our upcoming videos. Also, do hit the like button and share the video with your peers so that everyone has access to high quality education. On that note, let's start. So what exactly is Pandas? So Pandas stands for Panel Data and is the primary library for any sort of data wrangling or data manipulation tasks. And this provides you single-dimensional and multi-dimensional data structures. And in this particular session, we will be focusing especially on these two-dimensional data structures called as data frames. So let's go ahead and look at the first important use of Pandas, which is data creation. So you can create tables using Pandas. So let's go to Jupyter Notebook and actually see how can we create a table using this Pandas library. So our first task would be to import Pandas. I'll write down import Pandas as PD, and we'll just wait for a couple of seconds for this library to load up. Now, once we load this library, you can create a table. Now to create the table, we'll be actually using a dictionary. So the table in Python when it comes to Pandas is known as a data frame. So you need to write down pd.dataframe over here, and inside this you can just pass in a dictionary. So you can create a dictionary with the help of these curly braces. So what I'll do is I would want to create a very simple student table where I would have the names of the students and the marks of the students. So what I'll do is I will give in the first key, which would be name, and I will give in a bunch of names over here. So let's say the first student is Bob, then we have Annie, after that we have Sam. So I have my first key value pair. Then I'll go ahead and create my second key value pair. So the second key over here, I will name it as marks. And let me again go ahead and assign some marks over here. So let's say Bob has scored 56 marks, Annie has scored 89 marks, and Sam has scored 34 marks. So this I'll go ahead and store in a new object called as student, and I'll hit on run. Now let me just print out the student object over here. And as you see, I have successfully created this new data frame with the help of the Pandas library. Now we'll look at the second use, which is data loading or data acquisition. So you can load pre-existing files into the Jupyter Notebook or into our work system using the Pandas library. So here I'll add a comment and I'll keep the comment as data loading. And normally whenever we'd have to work with data frames, we normally load them as a CSV file. So what is a CSV file? CSV is the extension for comma separated values. So if we have a .csv file, we can go ahead and directly load it as a data frame into our Jupyter Notebook. So now if I go to my home page over here, you would see that I already have a data set called as iris. So iris.csv. Now if I would want to work with this .csv file, I can directly load this with the help of the Pandas library. So here I'll write down pd.read_csv, and this is the method which I'll be using to load a CSV file. And inside this, I'd have to give in the name of the CSV file along with the extension. So I'll write down iris.csv and I'll go ahead and store it in a new object called as iris. I'll hit on run. And let me just print out iris for you guys over here. And as you see, I have successfully loaded this file iris.csv, and these are the columns which are present: sepal length, sepal width, petal width, and species. Going ahead, if we already have a data frame with us, and if I would want to extract only some specific columns from that data frame, that also can be done with the help of this pandas library. So we'll work with the same iris data frame over here. Now this data frame has 5 columns. Now from all of these 5 columns, if I wanted, let's say, only this sepal length column and the petal length column, I'll show you how it can be done. So first, start off by writing the name of the data frame, which is iris. Then given parenthesis, again given another parenthesis over here. Then in single quotes, given the name of the column which you would want to extract. So I would want sepal length, and I would also need petal length. So here I'll write down petal.length, and this I'll go ahead and store in iris length. Now let me just hit on run. And let me print out iris length. And if I hit on run right now, you would see that from this entire data frame which had these 5 columns, I am extracting only 2 of the columns which are sepal length and petal length. Similarly, let's say from all of these columns, if I wanted only the species column, the process would be similar. First, I'll write down the name of the data frame. Then given parenthesis, and inside this given the name of the column that you'd want to extract. So here the name of the column is species, and this I'll go ahead and store in this object called as iris species. Again, I'll hit on run, and then let me print it out for you folks. So this will be iris underscore species, and then I'll hit on run, and now you see that from this entire data frame I have extracted only 1 column, which is the species column. Going ahead, let's say if you would want to extract only few of the records on the basis of a condition, that also can be done with the help of the pandas library. So I'll add a new comment over here. I'll make the comment as extracting individual records, and then I'll hit on run. Now if you look at this original data frame over here, so from this data frame, let's say if I would want to extract only those records where the value of sepal length is greater than 6. So if you look at this particular column, you see that you have a lot of different values. But out of this, all of the values, if I wanted only those records where the value of sepal length is greater than this, I'll show you how it can be done. So first, again given the name of the data frame, inside the parenthesis given the name of the column. So here I'll given the name of the column which is sepal length, then I'll given the condition. So iris sepal length has to be greater than 6. Now when I hit on run, you see that I have a bunch of false and true values. So wherever you have a false value, that would mean that the value of sepal length is not greater than 6. And wherever you have a true value, that would mean that the value of sepal length is actually greater than 6. So this, I will extract all of these false and true values and put them back into my original iris data frame. So again, I will write iris over here. I'll cut this command and I'll paste it inside iris data frame, and I'll store this in a new object and I'll call it as iris sepal 6, and then I'll hit on run and let me print out. So this should be iris sepal 6, and now I'll hit on run. So here if you look at this particular column, you see that all of the values which are present, their value is greater than 6. So initially in this data frame, we had 150 records. Out of those 150 records, I have only 61 records where the value of sepal length is actually greater than 6. And finally, one of the most important uses of pandas is you can visualize the data which is present in your tables. So let's see how can we make a plot from our data frame using pandas. Now here, you would see that I have this sepal length column. So now, let's say if I would want to understand the distribution of all of the numerical columns which I have. So let's see how can I do that. So if I would want to understand the distribution of numerical columns, I'll be making a histogram. And for that purpose, all I have to do is write down iris. Then I will use the plot method and I would have to give in the kind of the plot that I'd want to make. So here I will use this parameter called as kind and I would want to make a histogram. So I'll just write down hist and I'll run this. So as you see, I have successfully created this histogram, and this red color, what you see, this histogram is for petal width, orange color is for sepal width, green color is for petal length, and blue color is for sepal length. So guys, this brings us to the end of this video on top 5 uses of pandas. Now before I sign off, again I'd like to inform you about Great Learning Academy, where you have free courses across a lot of domains such as AI, cloud, and digital marketing. And you will find the link for it in the description below. And also before you sign off, please do hit the like button and also do subscribe to our channel. So thank you very much and have a great learning ahead.